What is up, everybody? I know I've been gone for quite a while. Let me spend my credits that I got, and once we are flying, I will explain everything that has gone on. That did not take long to spend those credits. Okay. We will go ahead and do a low tier mission so I can explain what's going on without really having to be worried about dying. Okay. So, for those who come around for the stream, I know I've missed multiple Sundays. Um, but for you guys on the YouTube channel, you guys really have not missed me for the same amount of time. If I am counting correctly, I think I missed 2 weeks. Um, and basically, to explain it, is on uh 2 weeks ago Thursday, I was headed upstairs after waking up, missed a step, and fell. Now, normally that's not a huge issue, but when I popped back up and went to what I was doing and what I went upstairs for, I immediately got very clammy and passed out. Now, thankfully, I don't think I actually lost consciousness, but I could not, I don't want to say, I could not control my body. I was stuck on the floor. Um, this is not a unusual thing for me. It's happened before, and it'll happen. To be honest, it happens quite a lot. Um, Not to the same effect. Most of the time, I need to sit down for a couple of seconds and just recoup. But this time I was stuck on the ground. I waited out, let my body's blood pressure level out. I let the pain in my chest go away and sat myself up, waited again for me to feel normal. Got to the point where I felt normal, and I was like, well, okay. I guess that happened. Made note of it, activated it on my implanted heart monitor, and off I went to finish up what I had planned that day. Got back home after it and spoke to my mother. Hold on one second. Let me turn this down so I can hear myself talking. Don't worry about your end. It'll be the same on your end. Just in my headphones a little bit turned down. And my mom asked if I was feeling okay. Told her, not the greatest, but I felt worse. And she called my heart monitoring clinic and told them what's going on, and they were like, yeah, send in a transmission and we'll take a look. Well, I had it marked and timestamped, so popped it over to them, transmitted it, and got a call, and basically got told I had a episode. My heart stopped beating. Or as they so simply said, my heart paused. There were 2 to 3 times equaling about 15 seconds. Now, as weird as it sounds, that's not that unusual. Everybody's heart can pause, like when you get told some bad news and you immediately flush pale, something like that. It's generally your body's just gut reaction to whatever has happened, and generally it's like a hiccup in your subconscious sort of reactions. So that's your heart rate, that's your breathing, that's your balance, that's your stomach digesting, all of these things. The issue with it in my case is my heart did that, and it lowered its beats per minute down to 30 beats per minute. Now, that's low. I mean, for like marathon runners and stuff like that, it's like, it's low. I mean, a marathon runner's resting heart rate's in the 50s, 60s. It's, again, it's not a I don't want to say, I don't want to make light work of it, like, oh, it's not a huge issue. But if you are somebody who is exercised and in fantastic cardiac health, again, that's not bad. But there is always a issue. Because stuff just, it cuts down. You get less blood to your organs, or in my case, my bigger issue is my blood pressure plummets. Which means I pass out. But I have a secondary issue. I am, as I've always said, I'm above average height, 6'1" on a good day, and 130 pounds. I am skinny and lengthy. So the secondary issue of when my blood pressure drops is I start to lose blood to my extremities. My feet at times have been pseudo measured 2 degrees colder than the rest of my body. That means that they're not getting as much blood flow. I have constant pain in my legs because of it. My body is extremely susceptible to fatigue. I mean, just walking to class back and forth. I physically, like, I had classes 10 a.m. to noon. I physically would grab food from the dining center on my way back to class and eat, and then sleep for, I shouldn't say sleep, but I would just relax and be laying down, not doing anything for sometimes up to 2 hours, just so that I could go in and not feel like I was gonna die when I go and get dinner. Or I'd not have to be heavy breathing when I get to class. But back to this event. So they called back and they were like, yeah, this is what's happened. And I was like, oh, okay. immediately they're like, you need to go to an ER about this. And I'm like, okay. But then they immediately dialed down and they're like, no, 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 no. You need to go to the closest ER to you, emergency room to you. And I was like, okay. They're like, where is that? Tell me where that is. And I told them the closest one. They're like, cool. We're going to call them ahead of time so they know you're coming. Like, okay, well, realized that this was a huge mistake. I should have just said, oh, we will come to you. A hospital that is connected to my heart monitor clinic, or the heart monitoring clinic, the ones who read my data. But so we get to the ER. They do a EKG, or an electrocardiogram, and it shows normal. They're like, well, we'll call the heart clinic and see what they say. Okay. They call. The heart clinic wants you to transfer to the hospital where your primary doctors are, where your cardiac doctors are. Okay, that's fine. Here's the issue. There's a waiting list for a bed. Like, oh, okay. How long is the list? There's 6 people on the list. You're the 6th one. The first guy has been there since noon. This was at like 8 p.m. I'm like, oh, okay. Finally, so I'm sitting there. Midnight rolls around. No one's come and talked to me. I go to sleep. They tell me I can't eat anything in case I'd have to go under for a procedure. And I'm like, oh, okay. Noon comes by. Still haven't been told anything. Still haven't eaten. 2 o'clock rolls by. Finally, I try and ask for a doctor. I don't get a doctor. I get a nurse. And he's like, I'll try and call to see where you are on the list. Comes back, tells me he can't get any information out of the call. Okay, whatever. It's not your fault. You're just a nurse. Rolls around. New nurse comes in, because now I'm like, it's like 4 or 6 o'clock. And the doctor, or a new nurse comes in, and she's like, weren't you here last night? I'm like, yep. Why are you still here? Waiting for a bed. I'm gonna call and see where you are. Great. Last nurse couldn't. I'll see what I can do. I had been there for about 16, 18 hours. We're at like 20 hours from when the event happened. I mean, this is a full day since the event happened. Maybe more than that. And they're like, you're 3rd on the list, but you can eat. Like, oh, okay, cool. So, I keep waiting. Now we're 40. No, okay, so I transferred like 32 hours when I got, or since like the event. Finally transfer over there. It's a Saturday. First thing they tell me when I'm leaving: if you don't do your procedure today, you won't be able to do it till Tuesday because of Memorial Day weekend. Like, oh, great. Okay. Get there. After transferring me on an ambulance, which is, I want to point out, a $25,000 charge. And they wouldn't let my mother just drive me over there. Um, and then, you know, they get me hooked up, all this stuff. A doctor comes in, goes, "Hey, I'm an internal medicine doctor. I'm kind of looking over your case, but that's just because we're waiting for a cardiologist to get out of surgery. I'm just here until he's out." Okay. Dude doesn't come for like 3 hours. Then this doctor comes in and's like, "Hey, so I'm the doctor who looked at your reading and told you to come into the ER." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. He already knows what's going on. I don't have to re-explain my whole story." Immediately, the next words out of his mouth, just I was so annoyed. He goes, "So I have a confession to make." Never good words that you want to hear out of a doctor. "I looked more into your case." Okay. "I don't think you're supposed to be here." "What do you mean? You sent me here." "Well, I didn't look at your full chart at the time. All I got told was heart paused, yada yada yada, 23-year-old guy." And I immediately just said he needs an ER right away. I didn't look into your full chart. There isn't a reason to be here. All you really needed was the EKG to make sure you're fine and you're out of it. And I'm like, okay. Did I just take the wrong way? Oh no, I'm just clearing. Okay. So what does that mean? He goes, "You're just gonna go home." So I sat here for 40 hours and got nothing out of this. Well, I've talked with your main cardiologist, and basically we've agreed that you have something going on that might not be your heart. And I'm like, okay. And basically they think that I have a so I have issues with my heart. I have a valve that if I get in a right position, my chest becomes an echo chamber and honks like a goose. But apparently it doesn't cause any issues. I have SVT, which causes some weird heart rhythms, and then I have AFib, which also causes some weird heart rhythms. But nothing that is concern, and they believe that they got most of them under control. Took me off the heart medicine I was on because it could cause my heart rate to lower and not actually, and could have caused the event. And then they basically went into guesswork. And the leading guesswork right now is that I have a condition called POTS. Which kind of annoys me because it could be a condition that I've had the entire time since I was like 3 years old. But that's, you know, whatever. So POTS is postal arthrosardic, I said that wrong, tachycardia syndrome. Basically, I have a condition that is my body being allergic to gravity. Um, the best way to explain it is if you've ever stood up too fast or you've been low on iron, that's what I have if I do anything. Stand up, sit down, lay up, jump, anything. And and that's just the one that most people have. I mean, the test that they made me wait till Tuesday to do is a blood volume test. So it's possible that my body doesn't have actually enough blood circulating through my body, and that's causing me to have POTS. There is, I mean, a POTS. It's really a catch-all symptom, and there's no cure to it, which is what really annoys me. But basically there's three main versions of POTS. There's the low blood volume, so that means that there's not enough actual blood in your body. You know, if you think like a gas tank of the car, I'm 50% full tank 24/7. I can never go past 50%, you know. There's a version of POTS which is a overreactive nervous system. So it's not that my body, you know, it's not that my heart is wrong or I have too little blood. It's that my nervous system is thinking that I'm, you know, I'm falling or something, and it's just overreacting wildly, and that's what's causing it. There's also one that is basically your heart is too weak or damaged or something, and that causes the nervous system to have degeneration or death or just a loss of blood to the nervous system, so the nervous system shuts down some things, which causes poor blood vessels, which can't keep blood pressure, which causes me to pass out. But I'm sure you've guessed now why I've been gone for so long. To put it simply, I had a heart attack that my heart restarted itself, weakened my entire body, was stuck in the ER for 3 days. They couldn't do anything other than give me saline, which is just salty water. And I've just been recovering. I don't know when I will come back to full strength. I'm recording this actually at 2 a.m. the day it's gonna go up, because I had some stuff. But I successfully spent an entire recording session with Bo for a video for the first time. There were breaks in it which helped. I mean, even this just talking for 24 minutes straight has me feeling the effects from it, so I don't know if I will go back to 100% where I was at. So if I miss a video a day or something, I hope I will still get a little bit of leniency with that. But my plan as of right now is to resume to what I was. Mondays might turn into other content that I have pre-recorded. I'm gonna try and keep it Fridays War Thunder, Mondays are non-War Thunder. Um, but if I don't feel like I can record, but I still feel like I can edit, I will try getting a video out. Um, because this is my only way of bringing in money right now, because it's very hard to work with this disability in a capacitive sense, as well as the job industry really wants experience, and I couldn't get experience because of the health condition. So, entering computer engineering is proving to be difficult. Um, but also, I don't want to keep you guys waiting for so long, and creating content, while yes, it does make me money, it more so gives me something to do, makes me from losing my brain, and also just the amount of love that you guys have sent me and saying that it helps you guys and all that stuff really puts me in a better mood, which the mood of, the mindset of a person can dictate how he feels physically. So me making you guys feel good makes me feel good, which makes me feel physically better. So then hopefully I can continue making you guys feel good. So, um, hopefully I'm back for good. Hopefully we can resume to what I was doing. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. Fingers crossed I see you guys on Friday. Have a good one.